Zoo-wee mama, I'm here to give you a 5-minute card guide to Sage. Sage is a Series 5 card that is in Spotlights once again alongside Miss Marvel and the very newest card Aranya starting September 17th. Now Sage was last in Spotlights when she was first released, so this is her first reappearance. If you didn't pick her up the first time, this is a great time to get her. Now, Sage is a 3-cost, 0-powered card with the very, very powerful and flexible on reveal ability plus 2 power for each different power among all other cards here. So you play her, she looks at the existing power of the other cards on her location and gets plus 2 power for each unique one. That includes your side of the location and the cards on your opponent's side of the location. Now, to look at some of Sage's best synergies, she loves cards like Ravana and Mr. Negative because of her stat line. She starts off with that 0 power. She gets really big, but because she starts off with 0, she gets the discount from Ravana, and flipping her with Mr. Negative also feels really good. Sometimes you have her kind of as a backup option in a Wong deck. Wong is often really good at playing stuff, doubling it up to power up other lanes, but sometimes you need to win the Wong lane too, and you just play Sage on top of Wong and she will get massive. Okay, also a card like White Widow, where you're adding a card to your side of the board that's 2 power, and that Widow's Kiss to your opponent's side of the board that's going to be minus 3 power or 0 power, just gives Sage 2 targets. So she loves kind of these small but mighty cards. She's very flexible. She has a ton of archetypes she fits into. I mentioned Negative or even a non-Mr. Negative but Wong combo deck. She loves those homes. You can play her in bounce. You either just play her once or you play her once, bounce her back to hand, and then play her again. She works well in junk packages because you're actually putting cards with negative power on your opponent's side of the board, and that power is always unique. And then just the Athena package, stuff that's, these small cheap cards but end up producing a lot of real power. So to take a look at some decks, here at the top we have a Mr. Negative list. Again, we've got Ravana in here and Mr. Negative. Sage loves both of those, and she also loves the Wong. Okay, and if you do flip her with Mr. Negative, you can draw her with that Jane Foster, and you can even play Taskmaster after her if you get a really big Sage. At the bottom, we have a non-Mr. Negative deck, but it does have Ravana, and it has Wong plus Namora. So you can go wide with the Namora combo, or even the Black Panther plus Arnim Zola combo, or you can go a bit more tall by playing Sage on that Wong lane. Now, I also mentioned she's great in junk decks, so this top deck is actually one of my favorite decks in the game at the moment. It saw a lot of play last season, hasn't been seeing as much recently, but I actually took out Iron Fist and I put in Aranya. So if you do open the Spotlight Week and you get both Aranya and Sage, this is going to be a good list. Okay, it combines junk, but it also has some move elements, and you just have Sage in here to get a really big power at the end. The bottom list here, I mentioned these small cost card decks that just produce huge power. Okay, so Athena powers up, Sage gets really big, Hope Summers helps you ramp, Symbiote Spider-Man and Gwenpool are there to help boost up your other cards as well. I mean, this deck is just so versatile and it really beats a lot of stuff. So she fits into so many decks, depending on your play style, you're going to play some of these more than others, but she's just a great, powerful card. So some key tips is that she's a 3-cost card, but you want to play her on turns 5 or 6, essentially. Okay, hopefully it's turn 6, so the last turn of the game. You want as many targets on her location when you play her. And you want to try and plan it out. If you have multiple cards in your hand that have, say, 3 power, as you're going through the turns, turn 2, 3, 4, you probably want to play those 3 power cards on different lanes so that later on, when you go to play Sage, the location she's on has mixed powered cards, okay, where they're unique and they give her the plus 2 power for each of them. You do have to watch out for Alioth if you play on turn 6, but it is a bit better than playing her earlier and having her get hit by Shang-Chi or Shadow King. And my final thoughts is that Sage is still one of the strongest and most powerful 3-cost card in the game. I mean, just from the stats alone, she can get massive. She gets to be over 10 power. It goes crazy. And she's never been nerfed, okay? So I think she's actually in the sweet spot where she's a really strong, powerful card, but not oppressive where you worry about her getting nerfed. So I think she's just great for your collection. Sometimes you do have to do a little bit of math for her, and math is hard, so sometimes you might just wing it and say, oh, I'm just going to play her and see what power she gets to. But if you take the time to math it out, that will also help you. So those are my thoughts on Sage. Until then, stay positive. I'll see you next time.